Rodney Harrison, Hall of Fame finalist. It's about time. Also, Football Night in America analyst and the NFL wildcard coverage of the Dolphins and Chiefs. That'll be it's streaming exclusively on our home, Peacock. That'll be coming up on Saturday night in Kansas City. So Rodney Harrison joining us on the program. Rod, your reaction to your former coach, no longer with the Patriots.
Good morning, Dan, first and foremost. And to me, this was expected. Even if he had a successful season in New England, I expected him to move forth after this season. It's time. It's nothing else he can accomplish there. It's at a point in time where I think he needs a new environment. He needs a spark. He needs something totally different than what he's had. I can say it as a player. I played in San Diego for 9 years, and then coming to New England gave me that spark, gave me that kind of that new lease on life that I needed. And you know, I hear you talking about all the different teams. I don't know if that Charger fit would be a good fit. Yes, you have a good quarterback in Justin Herbert. I was thinking more Harbaugh with the Chargers. I was thinking more Belichick with the Washington Commanders. Atlanta would love him here. I live in Atlanta, and he would be an absolute perfect fit here because he can bring that toughness. He can bring the X's and O's version. They have some young talent out here in Atlanta. Obviously, they're going to need a quarterback, but Coach Belichick was so tremendous to me, bringing me to New England, giving me an opportunity. But not only me, the underdog, Dan. You know, you think about Tom Brady being a sixth-rounder, Wes Welker, Julian Edelman, these type of guys he brings in. He allows to play, and he develops these players. And I tell you, I wouldn't be here sitting in the media and really where I'm at in my career if I didn't have an opportunity to play for Coach Belichick because I learned so much from him.
You remember your first experience with Belichick?
I did, and we were sitting down just having a conversation about football, and he told me, I remember when you were in warm-ups, when we were playing you guys in San Diego, you made a tackle in warm-ups and you knocked off one of your DB's helmets. And when he told me that...
wait, you did that in warm-ups to your teammate?
Yeah, it was an accident.
Okay.
And I knocked his helmet off. And he remembered that. And when he told me that, I looked at my agent and I said, hey, man, let's get this deal done. This is where I need to be. Denver had more money on the table for me to go, but I wanted to play in New England because I knew it was all football there.
Was there a difference of Belichick in practice and Belichick in the game as far as his style, demeanor?
Not really. He was always a pretty sarcastic when it came to it. The thing about practice, we worked so hard. Practice was almost like a game. So when we came to game time, we didn't get nervous because the demands were so high in practice, you know, and we worked really hard. We studied. But Belichick is a machine. You get a guy like him, you're getting a coach that knows X's and O's. He knows the game plan. You're going to always have a great defense and somebody that's, I believe, that can elevate the locker room and somebody that I think has grown to learn the locker room, learn just learn these young people because these young players are different than a lot of the players that he coached.
But also, he wasn't afraid, a lot like Bill Parcells, that they would yell at the stars. Belichick would call out anybody, including Brady.
Yeah, and I think that was the thing that surprised me most when I came. He's yelling at Tom Brady, and he's like, what the heck? How can you not complete this 5-yard out? The guy at Duluth High School can do that. And it was like, wow. So when you yell at Brady, everybody gets, you get everybody's attention. But I tell you, man, Bill, the way people perceive him in the media compared to the man that he is just, he's the best. I mean, you can have a conversation with him. He's smart. He's funny. He's sarcastic. But the best thing about Bill is he's all football. And if you're around him, if you're learning from him, you're going to be smarter. You're going to be better. You're going to be more prepared. And that's the staple of it. You look at all the great players that he's coached and how all of them talk about Bill, whether it's Gronk, whether it's Tom Brady, myself, Willie McGinnis. I mean, we have just such a respect for that man.
He's Rodney Harrison, Football Night in America analyst and Hall of Fame finalist. Are you ready for this moment here?
What moment?
The call. Like the knock on your door.
Hey, Dan, you know what? That's not in my hands, brother. I did everything I could do for 15 years. And if it happens, I am elated. I'm grateful. If it doesn't happen, I'm elated. I'm grateful for all the support and the people. You never get here to this situation, a kid from Markham, Illinois, in the room for the Hall of Fame finalists without so many people helping you and sacrificing, Dan. So for me, I'm grateful just to be in this situation. And if it happens, great. If it doesn't, we'll see what happens in the future.
Before I let you go, the game that you guys have Saturday night in Kansas City, it's going to be really cold. And I'm wondering, with that Miami team going to Kansas City, it's still cold for them, but Miami, it's going to be a shock to their systems, I'm sure. As a defensive back, if you were going against Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle, cold weather, is there extra emphasis that you may have? Like, how did you treat the Colts receivers when they came to New England in that kind of
Play
weather?
play as physical as possible. That's the number one thing. Play as physical as possible. If you get a couple holding calls or illegal contact, big deal. Make it as physical as possible. Jam them off the line of scrimmage. When they catch the ball, hit them. Hit them, hit them, hit them. 2-3 guys at a time. Try to rip the ball. Those guys are going to be so concerned about the cold, they're going to be distracted. The one way they can come in and have a chance to win is using that run game. They do a lot of exotic things in a run game, but they're not going to come out and pass the ball 40 times against the Kansas City Chiefs defense with Steve Spagnuolo, a defensive coordinator, and beat these guys. They're going to have to run the football down.
Great to talk to you as always. Thanks for your thoughts on Coach, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you, man. Always good to see you, Dan.
That's Rodney Harrison, won a couple of Super Bowls with the Patriots, now a member of Football Night America. You got the wild card weekend, and you got NBC Sports with 3 wild card games this weekend, including Browns-Texans Saturday afternoon, Rams-Lions Sunday night, and then you've got the exclusive wild card game on Peacock, Dolphins-Chiefs. That'll be Saturday evening.